Hey, what's up guys? We're going to be just doing a quick video here today on how to remove an anchor rod that's like 8 feet long down into the soil. I haven't actually looked at it yet, so I don't know if we're actually going to be able to do it or not, but I'll show you the process behind checking to see if we can, and then we'll move forward and see if there's anything we can do to help the customer out and get this anchor out of his driveway. So here's the pole in question, old Bobsdecline light that we rented out. You can see the wire is already long gone, probably got cut down during storm or something, but the pole was still left here, and the customer would like to have that pole and anchor rod removed. A lot of times we have to rely on the excavator or the pole removal crew to remove those anchors, but sometimes we can look after that on our own here. First thing we're going to check is what kind of anchor we've got here. We pretty much use 4 different types of anchors. Most commonly the Helix that just screws down into the ground, and then we have the cross plate anchors, which you dig a hole with an excavator, drop the cross plate in, backfill it, and then we have our rock bolt anchor as well, and a log anchor. So you can usually tell what kind of anchor is used by the head of the anchor. And this screw-on 3-bolt indicates that it is a Helix type anchor. So the anchor rod actually screws into the Helix that's in the ground, so we shouldn't have any problem removing that. I do have a cross plate style anchor in the back of my truck. This is the anchor rod for the cross plate, so you can see how the head is different. It's still got the 3-bolt attachment, but it's not removable. So if we had seen that head, the anchor still does screw into the cross plate, goes in the ground this way, and there's a nut inside that screws in. A lot of times that rusts out in the ground, so when you try to back it off, the nut never really does come apart, so you usually end up having to dig those guys up. But for this type of anchor, what we're going to do, rather than strip the top of that pole off, we're going to start on the anchor side and use this guy wire to our advantage to remove that anchor rod. So first thing we're going to do is cut that guy wire clear of the anchor. Remove that guy. And it's going to be a little bit tricky with that bend under the ground there. You probably can't see it on camera. But we're going to want to loosen up the threads where that guy wire attaches to the Helix with a couple good smacks with a hammer. That should do it. And next we're going to grab on. Sometimes you can grab right on to the 3-bolt and spin that around, but where that is threaded on, you can also grab right down here on the rod itself. That one is in there real good. Sometimes you can yank the rod right out of the ground. Most of the time you can't. So this is where using the existing guy wire comes into play. Just going to take one of our standard grips, hook that right onto the anchor rod itself, one up on the guy wire. So now here's the setup we've got. I want to make sure you don't pull the pole right over, but it usually doesn't put that much pressure on there. And you simply start cranking. Make sure your face isn't in the way in case it jumps out of the ground, but that's coming out quite easy there now. Ran out of cable here, but it was coming pretty easy, so we should be able to yank that right out of the ground there now. And there we go. That's it, that's all. We're gonna strip the rest of that pole there and hit the road. So those Helix type anchors, I wish I had one on the truck to show you. I'll show the different type of anchors in another video. But those Helix type are pretty well the only ones you can remove in the field just like that without the use of machinery. So we will, of course, have to detail for a pole crew to come do the actual pole removal. I'm not going to be pulling that out of the ground with a set of come-alongs. But something someone was asking about a long time ago, I just thought of it now as I was using my same speed wrench. That tape used to go the whole length of it, but I tape my speed wrenches so there's a solid color tape on one side, not on the other. It makes it a lot easier to see. You can hardly see it on camera where it's etched on or off. So if you have one side painted or taped or whatever, as long as you're looking at that solid color, you're always in the on position rather than the off. Makes it a little bit easier to use at night. So we're gonna get this job wrapped up. I'm gonna jump in the bucket. We'll take that light down, cut those wires apart, clean it up a little bit here. Thanks for stopping in, as always, and we'll see you all soon.